so that the fear is gone. You'll notice that we've come together here in an experiment of the idea of a body formulation in the notation of the possibility that it's going to be okay for you to represent yourself as a body association and undergo an experiment that will prove to you, may I sit down with you for a moment? What it's going to do is prove to us that the manner in which I am viewing you now within our relationship of time as what we term a teacher of God. Okay, I'm going to be with you now. I understand I have 51 minutes left. I'm going to deal with two factors here, and I'm going to you relax with me just for a moment. What I'm going to deal with is the idea of the immediacy of the entirety of the availability of time within our relationship. I'm going to take my sweater off. Here, now, the idea, here, let's try it. When I came in here just a moment ago, okay, remember, we had agreed that somewhere within the fabric of your own recognition of yourself is an alternative that you are very much aware of. Is this so? Oh, sure. Are you aware of it? Any idea of yourself? Yeah, sure. Do you understand that the factor by which I'm going to recognizing you in our miracle of conversion of mind is a time factor that's going to be involved with the idea of a great experiment with all of those who are beginning to walk around within this framework of time and to recognize themselves? Now, I was living and reading to you the invitation to a great experiment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little more about listening to the action of your mind in the notation that when I speak to you, you are hearing me within your own frame of time. Now, if I can get you to see with me that the self, that is obviously what you pertain to be yourself, is actually what the entirety of the universe is, your experiment will be successful. Shall I? Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, and they call me an enlightened association of Homo sapien. All I really am is a determination to get a better reflection of myself in the manner in which you and I can agree to this great experiment. You listen with me. Listen, all of you out there, wherever or whenever you think you are, you're invited to this gathering. This is a celebration of the homecoming of the teachers of God. You are one of us as we are one together, and we invite you to the miraculous advent of the reunion of your mind with the mind of God. You look with me, you've come a long way. You are very much closer to the end of time than you realize. Now, is it time at last to free yourself from this chaotic world of loneliness and loss and pain and death, a world constructed of your nightmare of self-identity. It was only a meaningless place that justified your continuing need of self-sacrifice and annihilation. Look, you've been using it in order to verify and sustain your apparent existence, and now at last it has become intolerable to you. Come then, be free of this burden of fear and self-doubt that you thought was a necessary and inescapable part of your existence. Come and free yourself that the world may be free. Come now to this celebration, you who are heavy laden. We invite you to experience the incomparable healing energy of love emanating from this ever-expanding circle of atonement. It is formed with teachers of God through their uncompromising commitment to and recognition of the miraculous, spontaneous transformation and illumination of their individual body formulation. It's an experiment that we're going to attempt to demonstrate here with your permission of a spontaneous alteration of the manner in which I am viewing you within the income, all right, of the manifestation of a dream sequence that I'm a part of, in which, having accepted responsibility for myself, which is what I am teaching you about your experiment, since obviously you're accepting your responsibility for yourself as you have been demonstrated, haven't you? And the self that is going to demonstrate that experiment is going to be you. Now, what I've tried to show you, okay, and I'll talk to you for a minute. What I'm going to try to show you is the experiment, okay, of the idea of a better light reflection of how you're going to look at me will allow you to see that while at that moment I appear to be separate from you, the actual occurrence of me is going on only within my own mind. Here, watch me now. Yeah. Now, what I'm offering you now, I'm very certain, is emanating from how I feel about myself. Let's try an experiment. Just as your idea about yourself is emanating how you feel about yourself. The only difference there could possibly be between you and I is that when we came in here today and sat down, we brought a memory of ourselves in this body form with us. And the only advance that I could possibly have made in the entirety of the possibility of a thought process within my mind, of a memory situation, of a reference that I brought with me when I came in here and sat down, all right, and have therefore projected the idea of you into my mind in a future reference. Now, the entirety of our teaching and the success by which you are inaugurating the Course in Miracles is a simple admission that the manner in which you're viewing yourself are actually all there is in the universe. What I'm trying to tell you with this light now that I'm beginning to discover in you is that you and I can share a moment in space-time where the distance between us in the idea of the power of light, I'm talking about the universe now, I'm talking about escaping out into the universe, will be real obvious to that, all right? Now, I am representing to you, you want to hear me? Should I teach for a minute? About myself. Now, all I'm really offering you, and the reason you begin to question me, is you begin to question what I am. Now, what I'm trying to get you to see with me in the experiment is the only thing I can possibly be is who you think I am within your own mind. Now, listen to a little more about the sudden appearances of guys from outside of this frame who are very much aware that they can shorten the distance between the 40,000 years that it took them within the great experiment of themselves in order to see who they really are. You listen with me now.